Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Stonestreet. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and let's throw up the field for Thursday's Spa Baby race. It's the Grade 3 with anticipation stakes. We're going a mile and a 16th on the turf. It is a nice full field. We've got 9 in the body of the race. The 10 and the 11 are entered main track only, and the 10 uncaged, the morning line favorite by Stonestreet Super Racehorse Curlin.
Yeah, Curlin, two-time horse of the year, and of course has gone on to be a perennial leading sire and classic sire. A few other leading sires represented in this field, along with some first crop sires. Kind of a fun race to puzzle out, as we've seen several of these running at this meet already. The With Anticipation, one of these 2-year-old turf stakes that has been so productive toward the end of the Saratoga meet here. A couple of winners of it have gone on to win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, including most recently Fire at Will in 2020. And in 2017, Catholic Boy won this race and went on to win the Belmont Derby and the Traverse on the circuit the following season.
And as we take a look at the second slate of runners in this field, the number 9 Tenacious Leader, broodmare sire is Curlin. He's the broodmare sire of 2 runners in this year's With Anticipation. We'll start things off with the number 1 Nudge going out for Todd Pletcher. Ricardo Santana Jr. retains the mount. This one made his turf debut earlier in the meet, showed improved speed going a round of ground, but got tired and finished behind Without Caution, who's also in this race. There's a lot of dirt in this pedigree. He's the son of Uncle Mo and the dam's a half-sister to Belmont winner Tis the Law.
Yeah, but I think a little bit of hidden turf ability in this family. Uncle Mo, they just run on anything. They're just athletes. Tis the Law, yes, a dirt runner, but he's turning into a solid turf sire with a couple of good performers on the surface from his first crop. The second dam, a graded winning turf router. And as you said, Nudge finished behind some very well-regarded horses in his dirt sprint debut, then gave way grudgingly after showing speed in his 2-turn turf debut. Would expect he'll have to show speed again from the rail here.
The number 2 is Without Caution. He defeated Nudge in his career debut. We're going to take a look at that race right now. Nudge was on the lead, turning for home. Without Caution received a very nice ride in behind, got to the outside at just the right time, and storms on home. And the 6th place finisher from this race came right back to win a maiden special weight on Saturday at Saratoga. Without Caution is a nice European pedigree, and looks like the sky's the limit thus far for this Cherie DeVoe trainee.
Absolutely. I think a lot of room to move forward off that very nice debut. Just a terrific family here for John Gunther of Glenwood Farm. He bred Without Parole, a son of Frankel, who went on to be a Group 1 winner at Royal Ascot, and then multiple Grade 1 placed at a mile in the U.S., including the Breeders' Cup Mile, finished 3rd there, has 8 first crop winners already, most of those coming in Europe. And then you look at the female family. The dam's a half to Grade 3 place Stage Magic. Well, she only produced Triple Crown winner Justified bred at Glenwood. Just a terrific family, top and bottom.
The number 3 is Test Score. He is a second-time starter by Looking at Lucky. Made his debut earlier in this meet, going 5.5 furlongs. We're going to take a look at that race. Test Score. Well, if Test Score wins this race, my Saratoga meet, Nicole's a lot different. He's 15-1, and he was out sprinted a little bit early, and he just had the misfortune as he runs on late to catch a very sharp horse in Governor Sam, who was odds on for a reason. After winning this race, he went down to Monmouth and he won the Tyro sprinting with a 78 buyer.
Yeah, and a good second on debut for a barn that often improves them with experience and which knows how to condition them for a route race. And certainly you would expect this one to relish a route of ground. You look at the family and you see Grade 1 winner Coffee Click among other graded turf performers in that immediate family.
Pretty sure Graham had this horse entered on King's Plate Day, but with all the horrible weather, it was washed off and then it was canceled. He reroutes here, and I agree with you. I think Test Score should improve going 2 turns with the experience under his girth. The 4 is Good Long Cry, still a maiden from 3 lifetime starts. This is a filly taking on the boys. She's by Long on Value. Long on Value hasn't had many horses, but he was a very good turf runner in his day, and the dam was Hickory, winning 10 turf starts.
Yeah, just an outstanding race mare there. I love to see that. But you mentioned a filly taking on the boys. A filly won this race just last year. Most recently, she was second to Raining Flowers, who I like a little bit in the PG Johnson on Wednesday. So obviously keep an eye on that one in the sister race. And both of them finished ahead of a next out winner in third there.
Here she is in her most recent start at Saratoga, her first run around 2 turns. She made the lead. She takes them pretty deep into the stretch, and she's just going to get pipped on the wire. It appears she's improving from start to start. The number 5 is Dancing Bear. This is a son of War Dancer. He's a New York bred. The dam one's sprinting on the dirt, but War Dancer's turf, and this is the family of Cape Blanco, who was a wonderful multiple Grade 1 stakes winner, and Dancing Bear, when he switched surfaces second time out in this race, he was a much different racehorse.
Yeah, obviously took a huge step forward moving from dirt to turf and should handle the distance. A turf route should be what he's meant to do. You mentioned Kate Blanco there in the immediate family, and War Dancer by Warfront, a solid turf router himself, and has developed into one of New York's leading turf sires.
And here's Dancing Bear's turf race, second lifetime start. And it's nice to see that he was able to show good speed in a sprint race because Nicole mentioned the route pedigree. Dancing Bear just really relished the surface switch, got right to the front in here, keeps on going. Keep in mind, this race was against New York breds. So not only will he be stepping up to face winners for the first time, but also open class runners. The number 6 is Reach for the Rose. And Reach for the Rose is a son of Audible. Reach for the Rose is out of a dam, who is a half-sister to Be My Sunshine, a stakes-winning turf router. Let's take a look at his career debut going 5/8 of a mile at Gulfstream. He is far, far behind in this race, turning into the stretch, but watch the kick he puts in while over in behind horses. He's going to finish relatively close to the winner, a horse that came back to run second in a stake at Royal Ascot.
Yeah, obviously finished behind a very nice horse while finishing ahead of a couple of next out winners. That was his lone turf try. Came back to run to win an off the turf maiden here in a mile out of the Wilson Chute by Audible, a son of Into Mischief, out of a Twirling Candy mare. Those are versatile sires.
2 European imports add some flavor to this race. And here's the 7, Zulu Kingdom, going out for trainer Chad Brown. He's a half brother to a stakes winning turf router overseas named Zulu Warrior. He won his career debut in likable fashion, going 7/8 of a mile in France, and was purchased privately after that start. His sire, 10 Sovereigns, was pretty fast and pretty precocious, if I recall.
Yeah, he was. And you would expect that from this sire line at 10 Sovereigns, by No Nay Never, another very fast turf horse, by Scat Daddy, that wonderful, versatile sire who can sire them going short and long, turf and dirt. I mean, the sire of both a European champion sprinting in Lady Aurelia and the sire of a Triple Crown winner in a mile and a half on dirt in Justify. So it is a versatile line, but it is a turf line. I like him going from 7 furlongs in France to the 2 turns here. One at 7 furlongs on the soft turf. It probably felt like a longer race. It probably put some good fitness into him. And Flavian Pratt and Chad Brown have been a great combination at this meet, adding another Grade 1 to their tally on Saturday.
Now we have a formulator fact for Chad Brown. He excels with these sort of horses. 2-year-old last out maiden winners returning on turf, 39% winners, and a $2.53 ROI. The number 8 is Cavallo Bay. This one started 3 times overseas for Charlie Appleby and the Godolphin Juggernaut. Cavallo Bay really improved second out, first time cheek pieces, and then looked pretty good last time. He was a little bit green to me running into that long straight, but once he was set down, he came about his task nicely and got it done. Let's talk a little bit about his first crop sire. I think this young stallion has a lot of promise.
Absolutely. He's a son of Shammerdal, who was perhaps Giants Causeway's best son standing in Europe, really carried on his legacy there. And Pinatubo was a European champion at age 2 when he was a Group 1 winner in England and Ireland. So you certainly expect his runners to show precocity, which they have. He has 11 winners to date, including a Group 2 placed runner in England. Pinatubo did go on to be a Group 1 winner at France at age 3. So you think there's continued development in the offing for these horses. And I like Cavallo Bay's development and some of the professionalism that he's shown at times. Yes, he can get a little unfocused in a long straight, which you mentioned, which I don't think will be as much of an issue here with a little bit more going on to kind of keep his interest in a shorter stretch run. But in one of his wins, 2 back on synthetic at Wolverhampton, he had to run inside of a loose horse who had lost the rider, kept on professionally, kind of ignoring that, and then in the process beat a horse who came back to win his maiden. Of course, the red hot Charles Appleby rating party for Godolphin, and picking up Dylan Davis, who is also just red hot this summer at Saratoga. 6 winners during Traverse Week, including a pair of stakes on Sunday for Dylan Davis.
Dam came over here and won the Grade 1 Natalma at 2, going a 1-turn mile at Woodbine. A lot of class in this pedigree. The 9 is Tenacious Leader for Todd Pletcher. Arad Ortiz lands on this one. He'll be trying turf for the first time. He's a $375,000 yearling by Not This Time. And while you see the dirt in this pedigree, route horses like War Story and Land Over Sea, he shows a very quick bullet workout on the turf at Saratoga. And as we always say, please check out our colleague Mike Welsh's Clocker reports. His team does an exceptional job telling you how these horses worked. It looks like this one might have been in company with Talk of the Nation, who just ran 4th for Todd in the Arlington Million.
Yeah, Talk of the Nation, a very well-regarded horse. And Todd's intent has obviously been to put this one on turf. One last out in a race out of the Wilson chute that had come off the turf, took a big step forward, stretching out, and now they go back to the turf plan. And Not This Time, one of the rising stars in the U.S. sire ranks, and they run on anything, they run in any distance.
The 10 and 11 are entered main track only. The 10 uncaged, the 11 Joey Muscles. Uncaged would be very tough if this race is washed off again by Curlin Super Horse. The Stonestreet Super Horse, Curlin, top pick time with anticipation. Grade 3 stakes race on Thursday. Cavallo Bay. Seems like Godolphin and Appleby can do no wrong with these sort of horses. And this horse just seems to be learning with each and every start.
Yeah, and he's going to have to learn more here. I think he's going to have to show good gait speed. He's going to have to adapt to the American style a little bit. With that in mind, I like the draw more toward the outside for him. It'll let him stay in the clear and kind of have that learning experience without getting buried. I just think they likely have big Breeders' Cup plans for this horse to come join Appleby's string over here when there are plenty of European 2-year-old options at this time of the year. I like what he's shown in some of his efforts, and I like him picking up Dylan Davis, who is really owning this course this meet.
I'm going to focus my play on my top 2 picks. I'm really curious to see how the 9 Tenacious Leader handles turf first time on the grass. Reach for the Rose. You saw that very nice stretch kick sprinting in his debut on the turf, so he handles the surface. And then he showed he could handle at least a mile in his second lifetime start when winning on dirt. So maybe a 2-turn turf route will hit him right between the eyes at a decent price for Safi Joseph, who's just having a tremendous year. 6-9-2-1 for me, 8-9-2-7 for Nicole. It's the Grade 3 with anticipation at Saratoga on Thursday. We're Spa Babies, and we're presented by Stonestreet.